I'm a math professor. I see some of you cringing back there. It's okay. I'm completely used to it. On the dating scene, it was a conversation killer. You do what? And they never did buy me that drink. But for other people, these words seem to uncork angst from years past. People start confessing. After the 3rd grade, Julie, I was never good at math. My mom always said, we didn't get the math gene. Or, honey, I don't have a math brain. And 100 other variations of these sad math stories. During the last decade, raising my daughters, I've spent a lot of time on park benches, at the beach, at birthday parties. You know the routine. And what I've learned from these sad math stories is that our children are listening, and we need to do better. Parents' words matter. The way we talk about math shapes the way our children think about it. Mothers are hurting daughters with words like, I don't have a math brain either. They're handing them quantitative crutches and convenient excuses for failure. Mathematics is not innate. Mathematics phobia is not innate. Both are learned. But sadly, math phobia is winning in this country. Did you know the United States performs with developing countries in mathematics? It's time. It's time to change our math story. This is such an easy job, right? Raising kids. It's a piece of cake. I get it. Mine are 5 and 12. And I get that parents don't need more criticism or pressure. But I want to warn parents that you will pass along your own math phobia if you're not careful. Because your math phobia becomes the beginning of your daughter's math story and her anxiety. Eccles and Jacobs documented this decades ago when I was just a child. Young girls look to their mothers and their teachers for role models. Researchers have found that many elementary teachers are also math phobic. So by the 6th grade, a young girl might have spent extended time with 4 or 5 women with math anxiety. What I find more interesting, though, beyond all this math anxiety and these confessions that people share with me, is all the mathematics that I see parents doing as they juggle work and home and running their household, kids' schedules. There's this sort of daily mathematics of motherhood. And I'm not talking about doubling recipes or balancing a checkbook. That's just arithmetic. I'm talking about the estimations, the probabilities, the computational diagnostics that all mothers do in the hopes of smoothing the household. Okay, let me give you an example. It's Friday night. You're out to dinner with your young American family, 2.5 kids. Little Bit has had 3, maybe 3.5 sippy cups of water with dinner. You're tired. The other 1.5 kids are ready to go. Your husband's grabbing the keys. Do you wait in line and take Little Bit to the restroom? Or chance the drive home? So immediately you start computing the distance from restaurant to home. How many traffic lights you'll catch this time of day? You're trying to recall, when's the last time that car seat cover was washed? You quickly look at little 3-year-old to decide just how easily you could remove that outfit if said 3-year-old has an accident. In essence, you have computed the probability of an accident versus a return on investment of a bathroom stall. Okay, mothers know they've done this. Our neurons are constantly computing probabilities to smooth the household. Can I squeeze in one more errand, or will I hit that meltdown limit? If I wait to give her that Cheerio snack, will I get 2 more minutes in my shower? This is all mathematical modeling Parents trying to create structure from their chaos. And this is exactly what mathematical models do for our world, whether it be bird migration, construction, engineering, design. Mathematical models take previous actions, behaviors, and events and captures them. And it uses this information to make predictions about the future. This is precisely why your teenage son's car insurance is more expensive than yours, Mom. There are 80 million moms in this country. 80 million of us. 4 million women gave birth in the past 12 months. Stevenson and colleagues at UCLA have found that American mothers often hold this notion that their children are born with mathematical gifts. This is not the same in other countries where parents hold more of a growth mindset, where both children and adults can continue to learn and grow. But this is a beautiful, hope-filled notion we have in America, right? My little newborn has gifts and talents already. But the problem is that if we believe our children are born with gifts, when they go to try something new, it boxes them into a win-lose scenario. You either have it or you don't. So why even try? No one is born a concert pianist, just like no one is born knowing mathematics. We must learn the notes for each key, where to place our hands and fingers, how to read music, how to create the mood for a listener, and then later perform for an audience. We are not born knowing all those pieces, and we're certainly not born knowing how to put them all together. Even Mozart, an extreme outlier, lived with his father, who was a composer, a conductor, and a teacher. In other words, his skills were nurtured and tended and fertilized. Picasso painted a new piece almost every day of his adult life, amassing 50,000 works. He had time and he used it wisely. You've heard of nature versus nurture, right? Parents nurture their children every day with their words. The power of parental expectation is tremendous. Those words can play in a child's mind forever. I can still hear my mother saying, "Julie, you can do anything you set your mind to." And my dad would say, "There's no such thing as that's just for boys." We all have these messages, these moments that replay in our minds. I'm sure you have them as well. The echoes of the elders are shaping us, shaping our fears and our strengths. What I find really interesting as we develop these ideas, these phobias, our expectations, is that I'll hear mothers say things to me like, "I don't do math, Julie." And it's so frustrating. Because they're dumbing themselves down, and these mothers are dragging their children along with them. We are all too young to be bad at anything. I'll hear my daughter's friends, a 12-year-old, say, "I'm just not good at math." And all I can think is, you're 12. You're too young to be bad at anything. And we all are. We all can continue learning alongside our children. Pass along your hobbies, your favorite recipes, your love of theater. But today, rewrite your math story and the stories you're telling your children. Start with a scene. Maybe a moment you felt afraid or vulnerable. That third grade teacher, the one who made you do extra time tests during recess, you were afraid of her, and rightfully so. But you were 8. Let it go. That kid, that kid who always knew the answer before you knew the question? You thought he had a gift, but it's not a gift. Let it go. It's time to start a new narrative in your home about math. And if you can't let it go, If you still hate math, pretend. You pretend you love vegetables. You can pretend you love math. Your children will thank you for it later. Why is math so important? What makes math so important? Mathematics is the gatekeeper to all great scientific and medical discovery. It's also the skeleton for all good research and breakthroughs human beings have ever made. But more importantly, for parents to understand, is that ongoing math learning opens doors for children while they're deciding what they want to be when they grow up. More math means more career options, and not just in scientific fields, in accounting and teaching and sales. Most jobs with the highest level of job satisfaction use some level of mathematics. Students don't have to be the Michael Jordan of mathematics, but they do need to know how to play the game and continue to persevere through high school. Because anyone can learn K-12 arithmetic and mathematics. Don't shut that door for your kids. Because 65% of scientists say their curiosity was piqued by a parent. And mothers influence their children more than any other individual. This is both an awesome and serious responsibility. Imagine you're standing at the bus stop tomorrow morning with your child. What can you say to him to help him keep striving? You know your child best. Mathematics can be a lens to see the world, and one I share with my daughters. We go to this beach often and enjoy this very view. There is mathematics in nature, in architecture, in movement and in play, and you can help them see it all. In the world of math education research, we are studying improving classroom practices, investigating how the brain grows and changes, studying how grit and growth mindset support success, and even designing new spaces where kids can build and make and learn. But if kids go home and say, "You don't have to work so hard, honey. We're not math people," math phobia wins, and the doors of opportunity close way too soon for your child. Moms are the busiest people in the world. Period. I get it. I live it. It's true. It can hit the fan at any moment when you're a mom. Bloody this, broken that. And as I tell my daughters, I only have 2 hands. So I am not suggesting that parents enroll in a calculus class. But we parents, we have the power and the access to be the change. So today, rewrite your math story and the stories you're telling your children in your home and on the playground. Because the way parents talk about math determines a child's long-term success. A mother's words matter. More math means more career options. And who doesn't want their kid to be whatever they want to be? Help the next generation embrace mathematics. Your children will thank you for it, and the world of opportunity will be theirs. Change your math story and change their math future. Thank you.